Hello, Chef Fred with you once again. We're going to do a very delicious, decadent chocolate ice cream. Let me show you what's going to go into it today. We're going to have 5 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate morsels, 2 cups of whole milk, 1½ cup of heavy cream, 1/3 cup of cocoa, 5 egg yolks, and 3/4 cup of sugar. And I'm going to show you how we're going to put that together right now. Okay, so in the saucepan, we're going to add our whole milk, our heavy cream, our cocoa, and then we're going to put this on the stove and we're going to bring it just to a simmer. We do not want to boil it because we don't want to scorch it. So we're going to take that and put over to the stove. To do the egg whites and the egg yolks separating, the best way over the years that I have found to do it is to just do it using clean hands. And we take our egg yolk and we just crack the egg in your fingers and just let the white go down through your fingers until you just have the yolk left. And we'll put that in our bowl. Also, doing this helps you to make sure that there's not anything going on weird with your egg yolk. And if there is something, or if you make a mistake or something, you can catch it before you put it in the bowl with all of the rest of the yolks. So we're just going to continue doing this. Okay, there's 3. We need a total of 5. Now, we're going to keep our egg whites. Okay, now you see that one messed up, so I had to get rid of it. You're going to keep your egg whites and use them. You can use them to make a meringue, or you can use them to make macaroons. I have a recipe for coconut macaroons that you can use them for. Okay. Egg yolks are used to make custards. And of course, egg whites are used for making meringues and things like the coconut macaroons. Okay, so there is my 5 egg yolks that I need. We need 3/4 cup of sugar, and then I'm just going to use a hand mixer or a wire whisk rather, and just use a wire whisk, and we're going to whisk this together until it turns a pale yellow and is nice and creamy. Now, remember in baking that you cream together your egg yolk and your sugar, and what happens is the sugar is crystals, and the little crystals act like little shovels and aerate the egg yolks. So when this turns to a lighter color yellow, when it turns to a pale yellow, then you know that it's aerated and that the sugar in the mixing has done what it's supposed to do. So we will give this a good little mix for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get on with our milk mixture on the stovetop. Okay, now you can see that this is a nice pale yellow. It has increased in volume, and we are finished. It's nice and thick, and we can just set this aside until we're ready with our milk so we can temper it. Alrighty. Now this part just takes a little bit of babysitting. You kind of have to just watch it and keep stirring it, because remember, we don't want it to boil. We just want it to heat up so that it will basically melt our chocolate, is what we're looking for right now. Okay, now we're going to temper our egg yolks. So what I want to do is take a little bit of this and mix it in here, and then we're going to give it a nice stir. Now the reason that we want to do this, it's called tempering, is we don't want to end up with scrambled eggs. So what this does is it brings the egg mixture, warms it up a little bit, and then we'll add it back in to our mixture here. Okay, we're going to add that back into here. And then we're going to continue to heat this up until it coats the back of the spoon, and I'll show you when we get to that point. So now we're going to just heat this up for about 5 minutes until we cook the eggs, and you will see when this coats the back of the spoon. I'll show you when we get to that point. Okay, now you can tell that this is thickened up. It's nice and thick. It hadn't got to the boiling point. We don't want that. And when you look at the back of the spoon and run your finger across it, you can see that it stays separated, doesn't fill in on it. Then that's when that you know it is ready. And now we're going to take our mixture and run it through our strainer here into our chocolate, semi-sweet chocolate. So that just gets the cocoa solids. We don't want those in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to let this melt. We're going to let this melt our semi-sweet chocolate. Okay, and then once that begins to melt that chocolate, I'm going to take and give it a stir and incorporate that semi-sweet chocolate in the bottom and get it incorporated. And then once you see the chocolate that's melted, it will start to rise to the top. And once it does, you'll see it's a darker chocolate. Once you see that, then you're just going to give it a nice mix with your hand whisk and get it all mixed up nicely. And you can see where it's changed color there and it's darker. That means our chocolate is melted. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to let that cool on the counter, and then after it cools for about 20 or 30 minutes or so, we're going to cover it up and put it in our refrigerator overnight. let it get nice and cool, and then tomorrow I will show you how we put it into the ice cream freezer and we make chocolate ice cream. I'll see you then. We're going to put the ice cream in the ice cream freezer now. I'm going to take it out of the refrigerator and pour it into a pitcher that's easier to pour into the ice cream maker. And we're going to let it go for about 20 or 25 minutes. Okay, now I'm going to take it out of this bowl and I'm going to pour it in this measuring cup because it will be easier to pour in than trying to pour the whole bowl. So we give this a little stir. It smells so chocolatey and delicious. Now this could be a custard if you wanted to serve it as a pudding. You could take the heavy cream and mix the heavy cream into whip topping and mix it with this and you would have a mousse. Alright, so let's get started. Okay, now you can see we've been about 10 minutes in, and you can see that it's starting to thicken and increase in volume. And that's what happens when you first pour it in. You think, oh, this ain't much. But as it churns and gets thicker, it builds in volume. So we're about halfway through the process now. Alrighty, I believe we have ice cream. It's nice and thick. What we're going to do is put it into a container, and right now it's soft serve, so we're going to put it in a container for it to firm up. Okay, now I'm going to take this off. Now I use mitts to get because this core is frozen and it will burn you frostbite if you're not careful. So we're going to take this, pull it out. Some beautiful chocolate ice cream. Okay, let's give this ice cream a try here. See how good it is. That's great homemade ice cream. Please share, like, and comment on this video. I read all the comments and try to respond to as many as I can. Until next time, cook something great, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.